Today is February 19th, 2025. My name is Rob Carter of Kalamazoo Right to Life. This is Pro-Life Week. Well, every abortion is a tragedy. Well, yeah, I've said that. But who else said that recently? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said that speaking before senators for his confirmation hearing to be Secretary of Health and Human Services. And remember, Robert Kennedy is a pro-abortion Democrat, at least a former Democrat, part of the Kennedy, the clan that is almost entirely pro-abortion. But he did say that every abortion is a tragedy. And remarkably, he has become Donald Trump's new Secretary of Health and Human Services. Trump is putting together a bipartisan cabinet. You know, he's got Tulsi Gabbard in there, and now he's got Robert Kennedy. And not everybody is pro-life. Yeah, we do have strong pro-lifers in the cabinet, but not all of them are. But we do know, at least according to what he has said, Robert Kennedy will uphold or follow through the policies of Donald Trump regarding abortion. He will not interject his own opinions. He will follow or toe the line along with the president. And one of the areas that he has agreed to do is look into the whole chemical abortion issue. He's going to look into the FDA and whether or not they use proper protocols in studying the safety of these two abortion pills. And that's good. We need an independent, hopefully independent study on how the FDA approved these two drugs. And we'll see how it all develops. But so far, Robert Kennedy is saying the right things regarding Trump policies on the life issues. So for that, I'm thankful. And, who knows? Maybe he's going to have an epiphany or a Damascus Road experience on the issue of abortion. And Robert Kennedy might actually become pro-life. I mean, stranger things have happened in politics. So hope and pray that Kennedy will have a change of heart on the sanctity of human life. Turn the corner. Last week, J.D. Vance, our new vice president, was in Munich, and he gave a speech that a lot of Europeans were all upset about. He wasn't talking about making sure that the U.S. and NATO were going to defend Ukraine, but he talked about a problem that he sees in Europe, in Western Europe, primarily in Western Europe, over the issue of the loss of free speech from governments directed toward their citizens. And, just think back now, here we are, we're living in the U.S., and we do have the First Amendment. A person has the right to be a jerk. The person has a right to say things that are unloving. They have a right to say things that are hurtful. They have a right to say things against their government. We have freedoms of speech and, of course, religion. But in the area of speech, we have that right to be obnoxious. And at least theoretically, the government can't step in and deny us the right of free speech. But Vance was looking at Europe and how a lot of Europeans have been losing their right to criticize their government. And I did see in the last few days two different things on YouTube, and both of these individuals made the comment. This is regarding Vance's speech, but the comment they made was, Look what's happening to free speech for pro-lifers complaining or opposing pro-abortion policies in these countries. And we talked last time about this woman in Bournemouth, England, who had a sign, basically just a sign that said, if you want to talk to me, I'm here. If you want to speak and have a conversation. She didn't say anything verbal. It was only a message on a sign. And she's going to be tried next week for violating some kind of a buffer zone policy. That you can't say anything within a certain area in front of an abortion clinic, pro or con, supposedly. And I've talked before about Isabel Vaughn, who was praying silently. Now, if ever there was an example of a denial of free speech, it's when you say to a person who is praying silently, you are under arrest because of what you're doing. I mean, how does the government even know that she's praying? She could just be walking down the street from point A to point B, or actually from point A to point C, and point B is the abortion clinic in the middle. How do they know she's praying silently? It's this whole idea of denial of free speech. And I'm glad Vance brought that up. And I'm glad people are beginning to connect the dots that a lot of European nations have a certain orthodoxy, whatever the issue. And at least in the area of abortion, you cannot criticize the government that is pro-choice. And so we'll see how that all plays out. But at least so far in our country, we do have free speech. Now, we do have the FACE Act that is not going to be enforced. And speaking of the FACE Act and the whole issue of like the FBI going after pro-lifers, Kash Patel has not been confirmed as the new FBI director, but I do think he probably will. Obviously, it's going to be a 52-48 vote. Right now it seems like Mitch McConnell of Kentucky is the lone Republican who is opposing. He opposed Tulsi Gabbard. He opposed Robert Kennedy. He opposed Pete Hegseth. So it seems like he's the one, contrarian in the Republican Party. But most likely, if the rest of the senators, Republican senators, hang together, Kash Patel will be the new director of the FBI, and the terrorism, the lawfare directed toward pro-lifers will end. It already has ended, but with Patel in there, it categorically will end. Lawfare against pro-lifers. So we'll see. Hopefully he gets confirmed maybe late this week or possibly next week. But I do believe he probably will be confirmed. And that's good news for pro-lifers. Robert Kennedy looking at those two abortion pills, that's good. Kennedy saying that abortion is a tragedy in every case, that's good. So these are good developments. And thank God Donald Trump is putting the right people in place. With that, I'll let you go, and I will see you next time.